E for MarketWizards.com, reminding traders to use risk capital you can afford to lose. And we left off with this assumption that we are going to use this account for their $50,000 full starting capital and profit goal 3,000, trailing threshold 2,500. And included in that is the license for NinjaTrader and real-time data fees. There are many free calculators online, makes it easy to do. Anybody that wants to check the math on their own due diligence and proposals, simply go here and then plug in your ideas, and it will give you obviously the things you want to compare to make trade decisions, whether you want to be aggressive in your assumptions or conservative, but certainly a very helpful tool. All right, let's move along to the math part. And using our assumptions, the goal is to make 3,000 before having a drawdown from our highest equity peak. Be aware of that. That's a consideration. You must trade for at least 7 days minimum, and any single trade typically can only be a maximum of 1/3 of the profit goal. So doing the math, and you can double check with the calculator yourself, but if we need to create $7,000 in a 7-day minimum period, that means we need to make 428 in change per day if we were perfect. And God bless you if you are. If we need $3,000 and we need 3-day minimum 1/3, and we know that 1,000 maximum today is the efficient way to do that if we're perfect. If we take 20 days, say the days in a given month, and that will allow us to make $150 on average net profits per day. And obviously, if we take 3 months to do that, we only need $50 on average net profits per day. So it'll take you a minute to get your mind around that, but it's an important consideration in terms of the profit structure, the days required, how long it's actually going to take, depending on our skill and our ability to avoid that $2,500 drawdown from our highest equity peak. And these are all regarding one account. And then we're not talking about how many contracts traded. We're talking about how many accounts. So this is per account. On the expense side, if we take a 90% discount, it's going to cost us 16 and change for the first month. And then for the second month or third month or fourth, whatever, it's going to obviously increase the cost of that. So a 2-month expense is going to be $50, and a 3 months expense is going to be 83. If you do them all at 80%, then it's going to cost about $100 per account for 3 months. So in 3 months, that would be your accumulated cost, just using it at an 80% discount, which is typical. They run these sales all the time. Currently, they're on a 90% sale. If you try 4 evaluations, in other words, there's no limit to how many you can try, up to 20, I believe. But if you tried 4 evaluations, then that's going to cost $400 per 3 months. Divided by 3 is about $133 per month. That's your expense on average in your evaluation count. And if you only pass one of them, then, and that's a fair assumption because you're not going to pass them all, believe me. Your one-time funding account is $140, which eliminates the carrying cost monthly. There's no time pressure. Then you can have that up to, another year, 10 years, I think it is. There's no pressure on you time-wise. So my advice, pay the $140 and forget about it. So your net cost is going to be about $540. That's the acquisition cost to have in one funded PA account using these assumptions. And you also are realizing that you're not making any money this time. These are just to fund these accounts. They're paper profits only. If we look at the blown 3 accounts the past, you can also assume we would have lost or been underwater $7,500 of our own money. So this isn't a get rich quick scheme, but it's certainly a way to minimize our losses while learning to trade with some defined risk. And we need to understand the learning curve. If we repeat this 4 times and make no further gains in efficiency, then we can assume it's going to take us a year to accumulate 4 accounts, no real net profits, and our expenses are capped at basically $2,100. Now, my assumption is that none of us are the same. You're going to want to go back and rethink everything we've just talked about here, do your own numbers, make your own decisions as to what account, if any, makes sense for you, and take it from there. I like to think that certainly if you're not in a rush and you are trying multiple accounts, some of your ideas are going to revolve around being aggressive with a few of those accounts, and you'll do it faster, and others you're going to blow faster. So, but certainly it makes sense to try a couple of accounts with a little more aggressive nature when you think you've got a runner and you're pushing it and you're squeezing traders. That's when you can really make it quickly in this business, as long as you're on the right side of the squeeze. So my suggestion, go back and review this, take a look at the ideas and create your own formulas. And in the next video, we'll come up with a few conclusions that I've created for myself.